I'm pressing it. Hi everyone. Good evening, and I welcome all of you who are watching at three different platforms, that is Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I welcome all of you to the Nilim Sonowal talk show, that is the live podcast and episode number 8. Thank you, my friends, followers. Because of your love, because of your energy, I am able to conduct this episode number 8. Thank you for sending lots of blessings and love. And today, today what we are going to talk about? Today we are going to talk about something really important, but it is often ignored. Okay, the topic is about how our doctors can stay happy and healthy, right? Did you know that doctors have one of the hardest jobs, and many of them feel so stressed that it can even make them sick? It is tough because when doctors don't feel their best, it is hard for them to help others the way they want to, right? So today we are very lucky to have Dr. MH, that is Dr. Manoharsa, with us. He's a surgeon and he's a founder of Mission Happy Doctor movement. He works to help the doctors to find joy, joy in their work, avoid burnout, and keep a healthy balance between work and life. He's also an author who has written about the ways how doctors can handle stress and find balance, right? So Dr. Hertz's goal is to help doctors enjoy their work, avoid burnout, and have a healthy lives both inside and outside of the hospital. So today, Dr. Harsha is going to share some of his tips and ideas how every doctor can handle stress and feel better. So whether you are a doctor, work in healthcare, or just you want to learn how we can better support and the people who take care of us, stay tuned today. Okay, so please give a warm welcome to Dr. MS. Here he's the man. Hi, Dr. MH. I welcome to the stage.
Hi,
Thank
hi
you.
Nilim. Hi. Thank
Hi.
you for such a warm welcome. And I'm
Yes,
glad to
yes.
be on your show today. I've been watching your work and truly inspiring, man. Truly inspiring. And thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And so here the man has come, and you have already seen. I have already spoken about him in my social media platforms, and the man himself is there, and he is like he is the man, like because he's very passionate. Beside his own profession, he has some other profession that is about humanity. So without further delay, let's ask about Dr. Harsha, like what do you do, where do you stay, and like what is your mission or what is the vision of your life? Yes, Dr. MH.
Yes. Um, so I come from a small town called Tanuku. It's in Andhra Pradesh. And I'm not sure most of you might not be knowing, but my father was an ENT surgeon. He came from his humble beginnings. And I grew up seeing my father, and he is my inspiration and hero to become a doctor. So while growing up, I've seen two peculiar phases of my dad's life in his 25 years of practice. The first 10, 15 years, I was a kid. I was growing kid. By that time, I used to go to school and come back. And He is always busy seeing hundreds of patients and performing number of surgeries daily. But fortunately, I had got enough time. My dad made sure that he always gave his children, me and my brother, enough time. So I never miss my dad. But there are some days when I used to think probably I would have got little more time with my father. But otherwise, I'm super happy for the kind of childhood that I had with my dad and my mom. So those 10, 15 years, my dad had a booming practice, a roaring practice. Like he used to perform around like probably 90 to 100 surgeries in a private nursing home. That's huge in those days, back in early 2000, I'm talking about. 15 years, his practice was going very well. He was even giving proper time to us as a family. And this inspired me. This inspired me, and I thought I have to become a doctor. He never insisted me. He never insisted me to become a doctor, but it is sheer my interest that I have gained by watching my father grow as a doctor, as a surgeon, treating hundreds of patients. And eventually, I got into medicine. I was lucky enough I got into medicine after so much of hard work, like most of the doctors out there. But I was not a ranker. I was not a neat ranker. I was a very average medical student. And I have never gained, matlab, I cannot say that there are any proud moments that I had in my MBBS. I just passed with probably 58, 60% of marks. But while I was entering in my post graduation, those 2 to 3 years of phase in my life, parallelly, I was seeing a transition in my dad's life as well. After those 15 years, his practice started declining. His practice started declining, and this
Okay.
affected him mentally, but I was not aware of it. None of us were aware of it. He managed it very well.
Okay.
He
Okay.
managed very well, and making us sure to not to think that something is going wrong. And we were ignorant. We were thinking everything is fine. But dad, I have observed my dad. One day there was a time when we were not even having enough money to pay our monthly bills. So that pained me. That pained me very bad because being son of a doctor, being son of a surgeon, I never thought we would get into such situations. Of course, we were comfortably living our life, no doubt about it. Our basic needs are taken care, but still having to, you know, face those little challenges to pay some EMIs, loans, etc., shouldn't be there after 15, 16 years of practice. So I didn't understand why did we get into this situation. I was very naive. Parallelly, I was struggling with my own academics to get into post graduation because I always wanted to become a surgeon like my dad. Eventually, I was blessed to become a surgeon. But parallelly, my father's phase career as a doctor is getting more tougher and tougher.
Okay. Okay.
Opportunity, or I never had that audacity to go and talk to him like, Dad, what's going wrong?
Okay.
Even if it always said, nothing, it's fine, I'm okay. He never ever showed this sign of weakness, nor he showed any sign of, uh, mm, you know, you know, matlab, he's not a person who gives up on anything. He's a fighter, and he always fought. But I didn't realize this was silently impacting his health. And in COVID, the world thought that I lost my dad because of COVID, but only
Oh.
I knew that it was unchecked, accumulated stress that affected his immune system, or else he would have
Oh,
survived. So, this is my belief. After I lost my dad, my life completely changed. I started becoming the breadwinner of the family, and I was just working as a surgeon after my post graduation in one of the corporate hospital for about 16 to 18 hours a day. And I think those who are doctors, especially surgeons in their budding stages, would understand what I'm saying. It's very hard to train as a surgeon these days. So it takes a lot of hard work, so many years of sheer patience to be able to even perform a surgery on your own. You're not given chances that easily. So I was just working
okay.
continuously, but I was not knowing what I'm learning. I became like a robot. I used to go in the morning, come back in the evening, repeat. I don't know when I'm having food, don't know when I'm taking rest. So this was my lifestyle for almost close to 2 years. And I lost that enthusiasm.
Okay,
I
okay.
lost that passion. So I was like, I always wished, there are some days when I wished, I hope this day goes fast and I go back home. My empathy towards patients came down. There are days where when I was rude to my patients as well, and I didn't know why I was acting like that. I was just in
Hmm.
survival mode. I
Okay, okay,
was
okay.
just in survival mode. And one day it happened so that after long hours of shift, one day I had to uh, treat some patient, and because of my negligence, I would admit that patient had got some complication, and that guilt was there with me for almost 1 month.
Okay, okay, okay.
Thank God, nothing serious happened, but still,
Hmm.
it was a complication because of my negligence. And I
Hmm.
started losing my self confidence. There came a point in my life when I doubted my ability to even be as a doctor.
Hmm.
But then something beautiful happened in my life
Okay, okay.
that changed the rest of the course of my life, that made me understand why was I behaving like that, what was going deep down within me, what happened to my dad. All those
Okay.
answers came to me from the universe. And I'm
Oh, you
so
found that.
glad,
Hmm.
yes. And I'm so glad I found my path, I found the reasons, and I have worked on that in the grassroots level, found the solution. And today I'm able to help similar doctors who experience what I have experienced in the past and in the present. And that is the reason behind starting Mission Happy Doctor.
Wow.
And then I understood the problem was that 62.8% of the doctors are in burnout. People use this term stress and burnout synonymously, but they're completely different.
Acha,
Like
acha.
you can
Hmm.
get stressed without being burnt out, but you cannot be burnt out without stress. Suppose, like, I can give you better
Hmm.
analogy. Suppose if smoking a cigarette is a stressor, then the cough that you get is like stress, but burnout is like cancer. And there are
Oh,
stages in burnout, one, two, and three.
oh. Acha. Is it so? Oh, wow.
And this healthcare system have never gave enough attention to this aspect, and this has become a global pandemic. And physician burnout is officially recognized by WHO in 2019 as a public health crisis.
Very interesting.
And
Yes.
worldwide, people have started understanding the importance of this, and they have started helping out doctors organically. But unfortunately, this problem has not been addressed in the nation like India, where doctors are overworked. And I believe there has to be some organic platform which can not just inspire but also give doctors simple tools and techniques and guidance to become burnout proof, stress proof, and prioritize their well being. Because at the end of the day, if you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to be a better doctor, you have to protect the wealth that God has given you. That wealth is our health. And we as doctors, we preach about health to our patients, but we are the biggest hypocrites. We don't care about our health, our well being. So, this
Hmm.
perspective shift is what I really wanted to bring among the next generation doctors to prioritize their well being and still can achieve holistic success professionally, personally, socially, and financially. And this is the reason and the mission Happy Doctor about.
Mind blown, mind blown. I really got goosebumps when I listened to your story. You know, wow. So and I really appreciate your guts. You're so being vulnerable. You're so being authentic, and like really hats off to your this courage and because yes,
Thank
courage
you, Naren.
because you have yeah other than your profession like because you have a very good like that mission actually no you are like passion and this passion actually brings bringing everything out of you and you are speaking from your heart and really I really admire you and the thing is like you found that blueprint you found that formula like many
Yeah.
people are not able to crack and people die. Yes, it is you have said rightly that holistic growth holistic this well-being is very important. Yes, money also we need like relationship also need but we have some other areas in our life health then social this all those things actually comes into the picture and yes
Yes, yes.
thank you yes I really loved your passion mission and really the mission happy dr movement audience you can see that he is like other than helping his patients like he's helping the doctors as well as his own community because he knows the problem exactly where is the root problem he knows the answer. Thank you so yeah then one thing like really touched my heart like you have said that india not only india I think in worldwide because I have seen some TEDx speeches as well that suicide the most the suicide this phenomenon is very much prevalent among the medical professionals right and like
Yeah.
what is your take on this yeah why it is
So,
so yeah.
as I said, burnout is like cancer. And if you get into the stage three, that is when you feel this tendency of hopelessness and you give up. Why is this particularly happening in doctors? Because I'm not sure how many of you know that doctors, the rate of suicide is highest among doctors' profession across the globe. It's like almost 2.5 times higher than any profession. It's not
It's across
farmers,
the globe.
it's not
Across.
teachers, it's not engineers, but doctors across the globe. And in
Mm.
the so-called developed nation like USA, the other day I had an opportunity to have a conversation with one of the physician burnout coaches, Dr. Dyke Drummond, with 20 plus years of experience of helping out doctors in burnout. So I found an astonishing fact when you tell me that every year 3 to 400 doctors are killing themselves alone in USA, and it's nowhere in the news. And in a country like USA, doctors cannot even ask for help because if they go out in the public and say that they are suffering with anxiety, they are suffering with depression or any other mental health issues, there is a risk of their license getting cancelled.
Acha.
So it seems
Oh,
doctors have to go away to the countryside on the weekends to meet their therapist and psychologist
okay.
secretly.
Okay, okay.
I think like this is the very, very unfortunate situation.
Hmm.
And doctors don't ask for help because
Hmm.
that's a sign of weakness. That's a taboo. In general,
Hmm.
mental health itself is a big taboo. And
Hmm.
especially for doctors, the outside general public thinks that what's wrong with doctors? Like doctors are, they make a lot of money, they have all the riches in the world, they see lots of patients, they make this is the general notion. This is just
Yes.
one face.
Hmm.
This is just one aspect of what is being looked at from the external world, but the internal world is like you can't even imagine the kind of distress that doctors go through. So this is not to make doctors feel like a victim. I'm not trying to victimize doctors and trying to
Yeah,
gain
yeah.
some sympathy, but it is time for them to realize that even they are not human beings. Before they're a doctor, surgeon, whoever they are, they're a basic human being, and every human being needs help at some point. And if you cannot ask for that, and if you cannot prioritize your well-being above everything, that is when your mental health comes to stake. And many doctors silently suffer depression. You know that there are some psychologists who themselves are antidepressants and they treat
Oh,
their patients.
acha, acha. Okay, okay. Yeah, generally the
I think
general perception is that yeah, they are the experts. They don't have any problem diseases, but they do have, right?
every doctor can become a patient. Patient may not become a doctor. Every doctor can become a patient, definitely. So I think awareness is still not up to the mark. Even if there is awareness, I've seen some doctors who know they try to see. I know the kind of pain as a family member, as a friends who lost their loved one to such incidents. And it's not something that any family ever should go through. Be a
True.
doctor, engineer, whoever, doesn't matter the profession is. It's not the solution for anything. For anything. Suicide is not a solution for anything. But unless we have that awareness and unless we know how to take care of ourselves, we cannot even offer help to somebody else when it's needed for them. Because if everybody is stressed out, everybody is burned out, like patients cannot treat patients, right? So if you're not healthy and happy as a
Mm.
doctor, how can you make your patients healthy and happy? So every doctor, it's important to prioritize their health and boost their energy levels. Only then they can help other doctors. But unfortunately, the reverse is happening. The
Mm.
environment is so stressed out, has become so toxic that just being in that environment is making doctors feel more lonely. And there is something called as toxic positivity. When someone says that they're feeling depressed, they say just you go and meditate, you just go and do that. This all the superficial talks may not help for everyone. A simple word of assurance that it's okay, that we are with you, you're not alone in this. These assuring words can sometimes pull that person through that brim of committing such heinous acts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rewards have like healing power. Like that's the thing. Like sometimes we need not to give lots of advices or gives lots of tips. Sometimes only we need just understand, listen to the person who is going through that pain, and that person may even don't know that he is going some problems or something like that. No, because it is not black and
Yes,
white. That it is not
it's
black and
not.
white.
It's not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very complex. Mental health is very, very complex. It's like sometimes you cannot comprehend the intricacies that are involved in mental health issues. And it's time, it's time that doctors understand this and self reflect on their quality of lives that they're living in. Due to the increasing competition, especially in with the advent of AI, it has impacted every profession, including doctors. So if you want to survive in this competition, it's not your IQ, it's your EQ, your emotional intelligence that can make you truly stress proof and live a fulfilling life. So, this is something which I'm trying to bring to the next generation doctors who are going to be the next generation of the healthcare system. Yes, Nilam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very true. You have rightly pointed out that emotional intelligence at everyone needs it. And the audiences here,
Yeah.
I want to make an announcement to our lovely audiences who are watching us live here that Dr. Manohar sir or Dr. MH, he is India's first holistic growth mentor, wellness mentor for the mid-career doctors. And he has not only shared some tips and talk with us, like he is going to give some beautiful gifts to you at the end of this talk. Okay, so today we'll not talk about that gift, but we'll talk about the gift at the end of the session, because we don't want to divert from the topic that we are discussing, because it is very important, very important. It is not only for doctors, it may be for you, for your son, for your brother, for any member of your family. Okay, because it is the problem of humanity. Okay, and excuse me, yeah. So you talk about, yes, emotional intelligence, and there's actually why this gap is happening? What do you think? Is this because of our education system, or like why, like, or social media or the electronic media, they don't want to talk about these things, they don't want to give the solutions? Like, what do you think? Yeah,
No, it's not like they don't want to give
yeah,
solutions. I believe that solutions may not be very practical these days, especially for doctors, with the kind of the busy schedules they have. So they need something which is very much handy and which is very, very practical. Unless that is there, it's not very easy to convince doctors in the first place. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I truly believe that basically there are no doctors in the community taking responsibility as a moral responsibility to heal themselves and help other healers as well. Because everybody is busy in their own life. Hardly they can help probably one or two, three, four people in their friends, family members. But again, they
okay,
get back to their grind.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
mhm,
And awareness is increasing thanks to the social media. But at the
okay,
same time, another reason that I have found for major depressive disorders these days are increasing again due to the increased use of social media. Because when someone is depressed, typically they will
yeah,
open some Instagram post, some
yeah,
sad
yeah,
post that will come
yeah,
in front of them. Okay. And they'll like it or they'll comment it, they'll share it. The moment that happens, the algorithm catches their state of
true,
mind. It will keep on pushing such posts to make them more depressed.
yeah, yeah,
And they
yeah.
start to feel that, see, this is how the world is.
That's true. This is how the world
Actually,
is.
you're inviting that frequency. So it's very dangerous sometimes. If you're depressed, I advise stay away from social media from some time. Do a social media detox. Connect with real people outside, positive people outside. So it's not
True.
just about the theoretical knowledge or wisdom. but it sometimes you need actionable plans and
Hmm.
that shoulder who understands your pain, who can give
Hmm.
you viable solutions, whether if you're suffering professionally or personally or financially, you need that guidance.
Hmm.
Who have been there and done that can definitely guide you better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you have already helped so many mid-career professionals, mid-career doctors while doing your professional thing also. Like how you have helped them? Like how do you do some like a mentorship or like what is your process? How you help them?
So yes, we through Mission Happy Doctor, we started conducting various wellness workshops, the first of its kind wellness workshops and webinars, both offline and online. And so we evaluate doctors who are really committed of their well-being first. And we take them in, we travel with them one-on-one or in group sessions from certain days to weeks. Maximum it lasts till few months, 3 to 4 months. And there are various levels in this. So we train them to become stress proof. We train them with certain success habits. We train them with certain skill sets that are not taught in any medical colleges,
Okay,
by
okay.
which they can build their dream life where they're
Hmm.
professionally successful. Everybody wants professional success after all at the end of the day. But that can happen without compromising your well-being. So there is a general notion in the doctors that see, if you want to become a successful doctor, then you have to sacrifice your family life. You have to be in the grind. You have to forget your personal joys and happiness for some time. I say we found a blueprint after observing handful of doctors who are in the top 1%. They have it all. They have it all, literally. But there is a strategy to build that kind of life. And that is the blueprint that we are offering to the doctors through this mission.
Awesome, awesome. Good. That's why it is said that universe always has the answer to each and every problem. There is always answer. The thing is that
There
we
is.
people become so lazy, so like we are so like comfort. We stay in the comfort that we don't like feel like to seek for some help, seek for some guidance. But people are there, like people who you are helping, and so many people are like in other like coaches, mentors are there, they're guiding, helping. So please, the whoever facing some problems, don't be shy away, don't be shy away. Go reach out, talk to the people who knows in this case, like here Dr. MH, he is doing amazing thing. He's a mission, it's a mission, it is his life mission. So he's very passionate about helping, and we want to make every doctor happy doctor. Because if you are happy, then only your patient will become happy. When the patients are happy, then their family members, relatives will become happy. When the relatives, all the people become happy, then society, then whole country, and the whole world. I see a big, like you are doing a really amazing job, Mamage. Dr. MH, yes. And yeah, these things we generally used to hear that doctors sacrifice their life, like a family life, for the sake of this thing, for their service. And yes, but you need to take care of yourself also, right? Yeah, good. And
Yeah, so there
another,
is one thing, there is a, yes, yes, yes. So I just want to tell one thing. So while we train as a doctors, we were conditioned with this one sentence. Every doctors knew this, that patient comes first always. No matter what, patient comes first always. Now I'm not denying this, but I would like to add another sentence to that. Patient comes first always, only and only in emergency. If it is non-emergency, you come first. See,
wow.
you're having 101 problems in your head. You're not happy in your personal life. You have bills to pay. You have EMIs to clear. and you have a low backache, you have a severe migraine. Now you go with the same kind of mental and physical health to the hospital, trying to help your patients. So I asked them this one question: do you really think you can do justice to your profession?
Mm. No,
You
no,
can't. And we
no,
have
no.
400% increase in medical legal litigations year after year. The reason for medical legal litigations is lack of proper communication. Patients are not happy. Do you know there is a research that has been published in one of the renowned journals which says that 7 out of 10 patients who are discharged from the hospital are dissatisfied.
Okay, okay.
They're not happy. They have problem
Mm.
with somebody. Probably the doctor did not treat them well. They're unhappy
Mm.
with the kind of treatment they received, or they're unhappy with the kind of communication gap that they had. So patients are frustrated. Patients get angry. So they started to file cases on the doctors, which is another stressor for doctors again.
Another stress,
So
yeah.
it's
They
like
are
a
already
it's like
stressed.
a vicious loop.
That is, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I say, at least for the sake of the patient, you need to be a happy doctor.
Yeah, yeah. You need, and that happiness actually should come from outside, inside, right?
Yeah.
When you are happy
And that
inside,
only
no?
happens when you're fulfilled. When you're fulfilled, when you have that passion to work, and when you have that energy to work, when you have that physical fitness, mental fitness, when you have that financial stability, when you don't have other avocations that you have to worry, then you can focus completely on the patient care. And the healthcare system protocols, they keep on designing. They conduct number of CMEs in the conference telling how to improve the patient care, how to reduce the costs, what are the best equipment to build, get in the on board, what is the technology that we have to use to bring that seamless patient experience. I say all that is nonsense. When you're not even not addressing the root cause of all that, if you want to bring the best patient care, you need to start giving the priority to the caregiver, that is doctors. Not just
Right.
doctors, I mean, even the nursing staff,
Nursing staff also, yeah, right.
even the paramedical staff, all of them
Mm.
are overworked. The human resource is completely burnt out in the healthcare system. So if you don't try to fix the roots and try to just complete all the superficial workup and try to get the best result, it doesn't work. How long you can keep on giving a paracetamol for the fever if you don't diagnose the condition? The real diagnosis is physician burnout that many of them miss out. So this is something that we have to deep dive in to understand the root cause and start correcting from them. When every individual doctor understands this, starts looking back into their own life, unless they do that, it's very hard because we are already losing so many doctors year after year. 28 years old doctors are dying of heart attacks.
Oh,
28 years old doctors.
it is because of stress, burnout. Is it because?
100%. 100%.
Okay, okay.
There have been doctors, if you go and see on the YouTube, while
Mm.
treating patients, they're dropping dead in the wards. Silent heart
What?
attacks.
Okay, okay.
And they did one study in post graduation residents, that is the first year of PGs when doctors get into after MBBS. They did their study on their DNA by taking their saliva. They have done a study in Philadelphia University and they observed their chromosomes of the doctors of the first years who joined in the medicine. And in the chromosome, there is one part called as telomere. You can go, I think all of us studied biology, is a basic biology. That telomere signifies our aging. And they found that the telomeres of first year doctors are aging at the rate of more than 6 times faster than their patients that they're treating. In a nutshell, doctors die faster than their patients. The average lifespan of Indian doctor is just 58 years.
Mm.
You don't
It's
have
really.
quality of life, you don't even have quantity of life, then what
Mm.
is that you're trying to achieve at the end of the day? Just some financial success, just some fame name. At least you have to be alive to enjoy all that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we are missing the whole point of being a doctor.
True, true. It's like, thank you for putting these things because we most of the people don't know. Most of the educated people don't know actually, and really, it's a point of like concern for every one of us. And yes, like, so what do you suggest? Like the people who joins in this profession from the first year, like, what do you suggest from your experiences? What's it? What is the path they should follow actually?
I would say start from the basics.
Okay,
There
okay.
are some very simple tips that anybody, whether you're a doctor or you're not a doctor, and whatever tips that I will share is everything what I am trying to follow, what has helped me practically, what took
Yeah,
me out of depression and burnout,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? First thing is focus on your physical health. That is the first thing. God has given this beautiful machine to function in this world, and we abuse it left and right. The basic human need is sleep, and doctors are deprived of sleep. There is something called as sleep debt. There is something called as sleep debt, and I am 100% sure that every doctor has some amount of sleep debt, including me. It doesn't spare anybody. And if you're not sleeping at least 7 to 8 hours, which is just a dream for most of the doctors, to get
Mm,
8 hours of sleep, your many parts of your brain starts to shrink literally,
okay.
and you cannot function. And again, a doctor who is sleep deprived, a doctor who is sleep deprived and working on 24 hours shift, on his 24th hour of shift, the kind of his psychophysiological state is just equal to that of an alcoholic who consumed alcohol with blood alcohol concentration of 0.01.
Okay,
It's like
okay.
someone has consumed alcohol, they took their
Mm,
blood sample and it is 0.01. And you know, someone who is drunkard at that concentration, they don't even allow them to drive any vehicle. A doctor is expected to perform surgeries and save patients and do miracles. It is
mm,
just
mm.
absurd. Slow sleep deprivation is actually causing more medical errors. And I think after listening to this, you would be afraid to go in an emergency in the middle of the night.
No, no, I
So,
get doctors.
I mean, that's the unfortunate reality. Doctors are made to overwork. But then the doctors can ask me, how is it possible? Like we have these many hours of shift, XYZ hours, we have to work. There is no way to. But I say there is one way. You can practice something called as NSDR. Non-sleep depressed is a 20 minutes progressive relaxation technique where you'll have so many videos of NSDR. In Sanskrit, we call it as Yoga Nidra.
Okay, okay.
And
Acha.
people underestimate the power of NSDR.
Okay, okay.
There is a scientist called as Andrew Huberman who have done extensive research on this 20 minutes progressive relaxation technique where he claims that 20 minutes of one session of NSDR, or you can call it as a power nap, is almost equal to 2 hours of normal sleep.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's
yes.
awesome.
So
Okay.
you, I mean, this is not a replacement to normal sleep. I'm not saying that. Please don't take me wrong.
Got it, got it. Yeah.
Normal, natural sleep is the best. Getting
Mm,
6 to 8 hours of adequate rest is the best thing possible. But if it is not possible for many of the youngsters in healthcare system, at least when your brain starts to become dizzy, You understand. Your brain cannot take more information. You are not even able to appreciate what the patients are telling you at that those extensive hours of workload. Then I say, take a break. You're not doing justice to your profession anyway. Take a break, go to your corner, take permission, do this 20 minutes of anesthesia, then come back. Then your brain will start to function at least for the rest of the duty hours. So this is just an alternative. Prioritize your sleep. Sleep debt is a very dangerous phenomenon. It can turn people literally into madmen.
Oh,
Literally, it can turn people into madmen. And there are 36 hours that doctors work. Can you imagine what kind of treatment they're giving at their 35th to 36th hour? Don't
hmm.
you think mistakes can happen? They
Yes,
will
absolutely.
happen because doctors are not gods.
They are, they're also
So
human.
this is
Yeah.
first thing, sleep. Then again, I had checked myself like few weeks back. Even sometimes even I lose my energy levels. Sometimes I feel low. Then I have done vitamin D test. Astonishingly, the normal range has to be more than 30 and my level was 11.
Okay.
Vitamin D is an important aspect that can counteract your cortisol. It has a counterintuitive action on the cortisol, my stress hormone. If you don't have enough of vitamin D, your stress response is very high and your
Oh, this is
energy is drained out and you become lethargic, you become drained out very soon. So
okay.
vitamin D supplements is important, taking sufficient foods are important, and doctors, engineers, everybody, we are in concrete jungles, 24 by 7 in the ACs, no lack of sunlight. So these are the
True, true.
basic things which this body requires, and you're not addressing that. So if your vitamin D is less, even vitamin B12, if these two things are very important, if these two are less in your body, then you will
Mhm.
get stressed out very much.
Okay, okay. So, like, who's like everyone can take this vitamin D and vitamin B12,
So
like some
yes,
particular.
suppose yes. So first, now thanks to the technology, thanks to the turnaround time of the blood tests that have come, you can get your blood test done, vitamin D, vitamin B12, etc. Get it checked with your doctor, physician, and again, when you're getting consultation next time, you ask your doctor, doctor, did you check your vitamin D? Obviously, he wouldn't. But yeah, jokes apart,
Hmm.
the consult with consultation, you can take supplements. There are tablets, syrups, injections. So it depends upon the severity of vitamin deficiencies. It's important to address that. One more thing is probiotic. So there are certain microbes in our belly, in the stomach, which produce certain compounds. Again, those compounds are the hormones that we call as serotonin, dopamine, etc. These hormones again regulate your stress level. And if your gut is bad, your mind becomes bad. This is age old saying. Again, numerous studies have come in the scientific journals that those whose gut bacteria is less can suffer from depression and anxiety.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yes,
gut
your
bacteria.
microbial environment can affect
Okay.
your mental health. This study
Hmm.
just blew my mind.
Yes, it's really blowing my mind. You have given so much value to this talk here. Really, thank
So
you. Oh,
before addressing your mental health, I would say try to fix your physical health first. Because if your physical health is not up to the mark, you cannot treat your mind. We'll come to that part later. I would say just get back to your basics, man. Sleep, adequate diet, vitamin supplementation, probiotics. To get this probiotic, to bring back the harmony of good gut microbiome, you can take kefir, kombucha, or simple curds. or you can have probiotic tablets as well. You can get from the doctors or pharmacy. So these are the essential things. First, try to address these things. Then, women especially undergo a lot of anxiety these days. This has become a pandemic, anxiety disorder. So many
Yeah.
doctors, medical students, they have panic attacks, they have anxieties. And if you just ask them to go and check their thyroids, 60% of them have thyroid deficiency, medical students, PCOD problem.
Okay, okay.
Their hemoglobin is very less. If you don't have thyroid levels at sufficient level, then you can feel stressed out. You can get depressed. So these are the things, first, two, three things that you have to address: your physical rest, the kind of diet you take, certain blood parameters that you have to check. Once all these things are addressed, then your mental health.
Yeah. So
Yes.
mental and Dr. MH has very, very valuable, important. He has shared that like how you can take care of this thing. Like first, you have to anyhow take care of your physical health. You have to consider your body as a temple. You give so much importance to
Rightly
your
said.
what temple, church, or mosque, anything. Like you have to
Right.
worship your body like a temple. This is the first thing. Don't abuse it. Don't abuse it. It's and the second thing here is sleep deprivation. It is one of the dangerous things, and he has given a very good technique for you guys. He has given a very good, even I also am not aware of this. Like, maybe because he told us, I can tell someone that NSDR or 20 minutes this sleep technique you can do that, and that do the vitamin D test, right? I have written down these points: vitamin D test, and you should have enough this vitamin D and vitamin B12 and
Yep.
probiotic empires and these microbes. You should have enough. If it is less, means you will have those stress burnout problems. Is it? Am I correct? Right?
Yes. Yes. Correct.
Yeah. So it's a very valuable information is given to image. So and yeah, another his thing is that women also like it's becoming anxiety. These stress are becoming like pandemic. COVID,
Yeah.
it is more like dangerous than COVID and all those pandemic, isn't it? Right?
Correct. Correct. Very true. So there is an interesting thing which I read about anxiety. See, anxiety is not bad per se. Stress is not bad per se. To agree to what I say right now, you have to understand the science behind stress and anxiety, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
basically, what is stress? Basically, stress is your psychophysiological response. Psychophysiological, your mental and physical, your body's response to a threat. That's all. It is just your body's response to threat. And how did this stress response begin? Why did God give this stress response? Back, if we look back to our roots, how our humans have evolved from being a monkey man, from a hunter. Back in those days, when a Stone Age man encounters a wild animal, say a predator, he has to save himself, correct? Or else he would die. The only way to save himself is whenever a predator comes across, then his body senses threat. Immediately, what he experiences is fear. This emotion is important, fear. Once this fear is initiated, there is one small part in your limbic brain that is a primitive brain called amygdala. This amygdala immediately activates the stress response in the body. It releases flood of hormones, cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine, etc. which are basically either to do two things, that is called FF, flight, run away, or fight. So all these hormones basically what do they do is they increase your heart rate, they increase your breathing rate. What for? To increase the oxygen delivery to your muscles because you have to run or either fight, and your blood's glucose spikes up because muscles need that glucose, right? Once either he
Right.
fought with that and killed the animal or he has run away from that place, went to some safety, then his amygdala switches off. His stress response, that we call it as a sympathetic stress response, switches off, and his body shifts from sympathetic response to parasympathetic mode, parasympathetic response. So, sympathetic is basically your fight or flight response for survival. Parasympathetic is your rest and digest, relaxation, rejuvenation. This is how it is supposed to be. But the interesting part is, body cannot differentiate between a real threat or an imaginary threat. It
Okay. Okay.
exactly responds in the same manner. Suppose like you have come late to your home and you're, I don't know if you have kids or not, they might be playing with your belt that you have hanged over to your hanger. The moment you came in, the power was switched off and your house is in some forest. Assume this. And you walked in, suddenly something fell on your foot.
Yeah, yeah.
Vaguely, you can see there is something lying like that. What would you think? Snake, probably.
Snake. Snakes.
And you just shout the hell out of and make everybody, get into the panic mode. When the light switches on, you just, oh my God, it's just bloody belt,
True,
correct?
true.
But your
Got it.
body sensed it as snake,
Snake.
and you went into stress response. Your palpitations started breathing heavily.
Hmm.
But once you got the light, then you understand the reality. It is not snake, it is just belt.
Hmm.
And 80% of the predators, wild animals today are in our head.
Oh.
They are imaginary. Oh my God,
Hmm.
something will happen. What will happen if I don't get marks? What will happen if I don't get rank? What will happen if I don't earn well? What will my parents think? What will that think? All these things, they are predators, basically. All this is a triggering unconsciously the stress response. The amygdala is constantly being triggered by these thoughts and they're
Hmm.
pumping hormones. But
Hmm.
here, the interesting part is either you have to run or fight, but you're
Hmm.
just sleeping, just sitting there, and your mind is running. You're not running. That is why the blood glucose spikes up, you have diabetes. Your heart is beating, but you're not running. That is why you have hypertension.
Hmm.
When this
Awesome.
goes out of control, that is what is called as anxiety. Basically, if you understand this much, 80% of your stress in your life can be eliminated. I can give it in writing.
True. Amazing.
So, stress is not bad. Stress is your guard. If there is no
Hmm.
stress response, we would all have been dead. But the problem is our body can only take high amounts of small stress. Chota chota mein, you can take high stress. But
Okay.
your body is not prepared to take low amount of continuous stress. At some
Hmm.
point, this stress response should switch off.
So we
But
have
for
to break the
doctors,
screen, right? Hmm.
there is no switch off button. That is
Hmm.
gone. So it is only on.
Only on,
There is
yeah.
no parasympathetic mode. There is no relaxation. So they're constantly stressed out. They're constantly getting triggered for each and everything. They think everything is a threat. They perceive everything as a threat. Their boss is a threat. A patient is a threat. Junior is a threat. Relationships, everything is a threat. It's not, my dear. If you go back and see, 80% of them are not threats to your survival. You can still have food to eat. You can still have people to look after you. None of those things are threat. If you understand this, the rest 20% of the real stressors, I'm not saying stress is completely imaginary. Yes, there are certain stressors in life that you have to deal. But you need to understand when there is some problem in life, when your heart rate is increasing, thinking of that, your body is trying to help you, man. Socho, you have to do something. Just understand the message that your beating heart is telling you. Understand the message that your breath is telling you. It is trying to help you that there is some threat. You need to prepare for that and overcome that. That's all.
True. Awesome. Really, it's a mind blown. It's a mind blown moment. I think every moment, every sharing is a mind blown, and this is one of the mind blown moments. Uh, yes, we have like decoded the things like so simple manner. The things are very powerful, but you have decoded the things and explained the thing in a very simple manner that love it. And see, stress like good, but it should not be in continuous level. It should not be
Yeah.
like this is what doctors are facing actually, and that's why like somehow you need guidance actually and understand the signal. Don't ignore the signal. This is what Dr. MH is trying to give the message to you, that don't ignore signal, because body always gives some signal, right? And understand that. Good, good. I really love it. And yeah, another thing is I want to know that you have written a book or like, and then we want to know, like the audiences wants to know what is the book about. Like, can you tell us?
So, yes, here is the book. It is yet to be completed, but
Okay,
here is the book. If you can see. So,
okay.
this is a narrative, the India's first narrative based self help book designed for doctors. It's okay if
Oh,
others also buy it, they can enjoy it. But my intention is that every doctor has to read this. If
wow,
you
wow.
have friends who are doctors, if you have anybody in your family who wants to become a future doctor, I would recommend you to give them this book. I think that is one biggest help that you can do. So basically, it's a fictitious story of a young surgeon who goes through number of stressors professionally and personally and reaches a point of no return.
Hmm.
But how does he come back, if at all he comes back or not? So this is the journey of a doctor from burnout to breakthrough. And this gives simple tools, very effective step by step approaches to deal with your emotional stress, your physical stress, to overcome burnout and build a happy life. This is all the book is all about. And it's not just a normal gyan or a knowledge based book alone. It's a very interesting, intriguing story that I have tried to bring it out with very scientific bias, scientific backed theories. And I'm sure this is one book that has a potential that can transform every next generation doctor.
Yes, yes, yes. And we are, I'm also sure that this book is going to help millions of people. And yeah, some users are commenting very informative session. Thank you, and nice. Thank you for for sending
Thank
love,
you.
and thank you and for listening very patiently. And this book, like he has the author, the man who has found the secret formula how to come out from stress and live a happy life. So please connect with him, like whenever he publishes, get a copy of him and get transformed, because many times we focus only on our technical things, but other those professional subject we need to this self development, because this
Correct.
is what actually, yeah, this is what actually help us to take big steps, to move into the next level, right? So, and that's why he has a passion for growth should be holistic, not only in financial sector and something like that. Growth should be holistic, be it mental, physical, relationship, social, everywhere, spiritual, everywhere. And thank you, and it was like though like we have you have talked, shared many things, but we have limited time, and we wanted to talk some more things because, but yeah, and definitely we'll talk more. And today, like before ending this session, and I want to ask you, like, what is the one message that you want to pass on to the not only to the doctors, like to anyone, like so that they can transform their life into happy life, or whatever a dream they can build, dream life. So what is the one message that you want to pass on today?
Well, I'm not sure whether I'm still yet qualified to give any sort of advice or messages to the general public, or for that matter, anybody. I'm just here to share my experience, what has helped me, and that is what I'm trying to make others realize. Probably, if at least few parts of that, of my lessons, my intakes, if they follow, at least they can save themselves from going through the pain that I and my extended family and friends have been through. Well, it's as simple as that, that you have to have a quality life rather than a quantity life. We are just focused of the numbers. We are playing the number game. कितना कार है, कितना घर है, कितना बेडरूम का घर है, what's a bank balance, etc., etc. How long do you want to live? To do all sorts of things to live longer. But how? If you want to live longer and unhappy life, I would say at least die peacefully as early as possible. The quality of life is missing, and the
Mhm.
first half of life of doctors, they sacrifice everything to just become a best doctor. But by the time they realize that they have earned some decent success, they have earned some decent bank balance, they lose everything. So many
Mhm.
doctors' personal relationships are very badly screwed because of lack of work-life balance.
Mhm.
And if you ask me, 90% of the doctors, do you want to make your children doctor? They would say no.
Mhm.
This is not a good sign.
Mhm.
So my only message here, if at all I have to give, is focus on building quality life, building a joyful life, a meaningful life, and a happy life. And to all the next generation doctors, just remember one thing: you can't serve from an empty bowl, you can't heal with a wounded heart. Heal thyself before you heal them. That's it.
Wow. Wow, what a lovely message. What a lovely message. He's so humble. Dr. MS is so humble. He has found the problem, yet he is saying that he is not the expert, but he's sharing his experiences. And the main message that many people are like making, they're making race. Like how much? The quantity, they're increasing the quantity, but they're forgetting that quality actually matters. Quality.
Yeah.
And yes, very great perspective you have shared, that quality matters. Yes, once you build that quality, the quantity will definitely come. You should not run after quantity. Build a quality,
Yes,
quantity will
of
comes,
course,
right?
that is important. But
Yeah,
there is a balance, that striking the right balance of quantity and quality. That's the whole point.
whole
Yeah.
point. Yeah. And thank you. It's a so lovely talk with you, and really our audiences also love it so much. And definitely we in
Thank you,
future
Nilim.
also.
And even though we concluded in such a short notice, in
Yeah,
spite of certain technical difficulties, I'm not sure. Tomorrow, probably, I have promised my audience that this would go live, but I'm so sorry, guys. Due to some technical, I'm not a tech savvy person. I tried my level best to make this live, but I hope you would see this recording and get some insights. But I promise next session we'll do thorough homework and see that this comes live. If any such sessions, if
yeah,
at
yeah.
all Nilim would, if at all, he would give me another opportunity, then
Sure,
definitely
sure, sure.
we would
We
see
can.
that we bring it live for a better experience.
Thank you.
And by the way, the one gift that Nilim was sharing about in the middle of the session, that anybody who reaches out and registers in the next 24 hours, I'll be sharing a link to the Nilim. Probably he can post it on his social media to all the people, general public, whichever profession you are in.
Mhm.
Please, it's a humble request. Share it with your extended family or family people who are doctors or who are medical students. I'm giving this offer for the pre launch of the book for 50%. Those who book in the next 24 hours through the link that is shared. And I'm also offering a free one on one session for any doctor who wishes to be a happy doctor. Usually, I charge X amount of money, but on the occasion of this podcast, I would like to give away some part of my time, and I'm going to sponsor that one-on-one consultation for just 5 doctors who might reach out within 24 hours. Thank you,
Wow.
Nilim.
Thank you,
Thank you
thank you,
so
thank
much for this opportunity.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Such a lovely gift that you have brought to us. That because you are part of this podcast, he is offering 50% discount of his book, as well as he's giving free consultation. And but you have like you have to take action today, not someday, not tomorrow, today. Within 24 hours you have to take action. Please connect with him, he'll be sharing the link, and you become the happiest person, build your dream life. Okay, and this is what like he can help you. Okay, and thank you, and all the lovely audiences, thank you again for staying till this end and sending your love energy. Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. MH. Thank you, and looking forward to talk another amazing podcast with you very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Nilim. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Namaskar.
Yeah, namaskar, namaskar.